Couple of things came up. Some have asked, why was there only two expenditures that came out of the People's Club last year? Because only two people asked us why. Both of which I kind of initiated. But it's also, given the workload I had last year, and it's not getting any better this year, I didn't spend too much time on operating or highlighting the positive aspect of the People's Club, but it also allowed us to build up a small amount in the bank for future expenditures. And some of your money has helped one person stay in their home in this past month, and another with a medical emergency. And this is what it's all about, helping each other. Also, what came up is some have asked why I don't do Q&A anymore. There are questions that people like to ask that whereby they want to learn something. And then you have questions with statements, questions designed to create mischief. But the real reason why the Q&A section is no longer in the show is that the members themselves requested to end it due to people asking leading or stupid questions. But what is ironic, though, is those who send others into the group to ask leading questions were offered a show to ask all of their questions and predictably, like cowards that they are, declined. You see, with some people, it's not answers they want. It's only mischief laden with an agenda. But the greatest question you can ask is why an investigation group won't ask their lead suspect any questions. Oh my, it's all very Fisher-Price spy kids, that to me. Now, unfortunately, recently we've had to remove 3 people from our group. 2 listed themselves as inspirational speakers, charging people thousands of dollars, when this show has given many people inspiration and charged nothing. Perhaps that is their trigger. They used people to harvest their energy to fund their rather expensive lifestyles. This show or host will never do that. Now, the other was related to banking. Came across all nice, but his energy eventually gave him away. All 3 are now in the copy and paste group. I just love it when the masked crusaders are unmasked and expose themselves for who and what they are. Now, this was expected, as the more work we do that has impact, the more they send out their minions. And that particular group's expanding members of various levels of criminality, wrong paths and pure evil are indicative of a wider thing playing out currently. You know, there are times when both Kim and I both wish we'd not been involved with or a part of the trust. Because at times it just gives a majority of people an opportunity to dissolve their own responsibility, full of ideas and critique of what should or hasn't been done, or what other people should do for their benefit, but zero input on solutions to fixing the problem, except critiquing and slandering the ones who do try. All those questions have been answered, but like I said, these people don't want answers. They just want to throw accusations in via statements to cover up their own agenda and their own lack of responsibility. And essentially what is playing out here is we have a new version of haves and have-nots. But it's not wealth this time, but personal responsibility. The two words that this show embodies more than most: personal responsibility. Those that have it stand out. Those that don't critique and attack you. But everyone being responsible for their own future and others should be participating in the $1 a week or $1 a month or whatever else you can afford, because we can fix up this ourselves, with or without the trust. It's a simple plan that everyone can afford to contribute to, that fixes the issues that people want fixing, not waiting for governments. Waiting for governments has always been pointless. You all know that by now. And clearly the cabal are terrified of that plan, because it can be done. And so they send criminals and bitter people out to discredit it and me. Yes, the trust is the easier option. Money just lands due to the work of a few people. But the $1 program is built up by the work of the many. Which is more beneficial for the elevation of the people? And for the benefit of the hard of hearing and agenda-driven non-thinking people, that is not me sliding away from the trust, far from it. I've invested thousands of hours into the trust for no pay, and a whole heap of abuse to boot that went along with it, as has Kim. And we will continue to do so in spite of the time-wasting critics. But I would like to build the foundation of We the People with the $1 program, and then enhance it with the trust funds. We did warn of it on this show many years back, of the masks falling. People would expose themselves and each other, and that is bearing out in that group and inside our own group as well, I might add, much to my disappointment. It is and will get more ugly, as all these people have not faced up to their own failures, wrongdoings and dark sides, and continue to project at others, envious of their transparency, integrity and truth. Envy is a terrible disease. Reality for them and others is they are now pretending to hide behind masks that just don't exist anymore. And it becomes almost comedic in their attempts to project the false image. It doesn't work anymore. And people can see them for who they are, or what they have become. Those that project the loudest are the very ones with more to cover up. So keep shouting, whilst we keep laughing and continue to stand in truth with full confidence in our open and transparent policy, whilst they choose to hide from reality.